Hey everyone, so today we're gonna put some textures on our drawing which is ready and it's polished and it's done. And I need textures because they make drawings look like they have history and there's some kind of a story behind them. So let's see how it's done. Let's go. Here, so this is our drawing. You see I've added a text title to the drawing. I added some color, and while I adjust the position of the text, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the textures. So I use some of the textures I may make myself. Some of the textures I got from truegrid.com. It's a site where the textures are made and you can buy them over there. The other side is called textures.com. Is there you can download the texture and make it into the black and white and use it as your own texture. Links to the both sides are below the video in the description. And now you see one of the textures I am taking here. It's black and white. I put it on top of the image and I use blending modes with textures. So for this one I will turn on the screen blending mode. It's the mode of the layer. And what it does, it's kind of a mouthful to explain, but basically it makes all the black parts white and it makes it also transparent. Well, you just look at this, you probably can see it. So it just makes all the black parts white and it puts them on top of the image. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna make it a mask. I'm gonna invert the mask so the textures would disappear, and then with a brush I will paint over the areas where I want the texture to be. And so as you can see here, and I'm using a brush with pencil mode, so it's kind of like a brush pencil, you could say, because it gives the texture, it doesn't have gradients or it doesn't soften, so it's very hard edge. It's what you want to use with textures. And so I'm choosing the areas here where I want the texture to show, and because it's a screen mode, it shows only white, it doesn't show black. That's the thing about the screen mode. And it also works in black and white. For example, if I have a color background, not white like here, then this method will not work. So you have to have the white background for this one. There are ways to make it work, but it's a different topic. Now I'm gonna choose another texture. This one I made myself. I used watercolor paper. I photographed it and made the texture out of it. So I put it on top. I create a mask. I invert the mask, and then I paint in the parts of the wheel where I want the texture to show. And I'm doing the same with the lettering here, with the text. And I have this again textures that I made myself. Some of the textures in this video I will use that are from truegrid.com, and sometimes they have free bundles for non-commercial use. So I have one of those and I'm using just I don't earn anything, so I'm just using it. So the rest of the video is going to be time-lapse. Everywhere the method is the same. You take a texture, it should be black and white, you put it on top of your image, you turn on the screen mode in the layer modes, then you invert the mask, you take the brush, you paint in or paint out the parts where you want the texture to be. And one texture like this one, those dots, that kind of make a drawing look vintage comics, like vintage comics look. So those dots, for them I did not use the screen mode. I use multiply. The difference between screen and multiply is that when you use screen, it inverts the texture and makes it like a transparent in certain area, in white areas. Multiply does the opposite way. It makes the black and the white disappears. Right, so in screen mode, the black disappears and you have the white. In multiply mode, you have the black visible and white disappears. And so I'm using, as you see, the dots are black, and I'm using it in this case as a shading method. So where is a shadow, I put dots, and it gives it kind of this cool vintage looking, comics looking vibe that I like. And that's basically it with textures. One thing you want to do is usually you do textures as a last piece of the process, of the drawing process, because really it just is a finishing touch. I find it's never works when you put it in the middle, because it takes some time and it's better to focus on something related. If drawing is not finished, it's better focus on drawing and inking, and then spend time on texturing. So this is it for this whole series of videos about creating a character using traditional sketching and Photoshop. And I'll see you in the future videos. Peace.